Hi guys, Veronica here, and today I wanted to share something with you guys. And today I'm going to be sharing with you guys who I think is the scariest villain in the Larryboy franchise. Now for some of y'all who have read my blogs, and by the way the link to that blog is in the description below, I've actually wrote who I thought was the scariest villain in the Larryboy franchise. But in this video I'll probably add a few things, but the order of which villain that I think is the scariest, that hasn't changed. So without further ado, this is my video version of who I think is the scariest villain in the franchise of Larryboy. So let's do this. So for starters, I'll go ahead and eliminate the two villains, the two least scariest villains in the franchise. Now, most of us know that Motato is the current villain in the Larryboy franchise because of Veggietales in the house, but I decided to eliminate him for two reasons. One, he's current, and two, there's nothing really scary about him. I mean, he may look creepy and all, but it doesn't really, I don't think he's that scary, you guys. The second villain that I want to eliminate is Dr. Flurry from the League of Incredible Vegetables. Now let me explain. There's not much that you can be scared of from this guy. I mean, he uses something called the fear dar to induce people's fears, like make them come to life, but that's pretty much it. Other than that, he's just a mad scientist with 3 penguins. It's not to mention his secret lair is like a rundown grocery store. And next we have the villains from the Larryboy and the Cartoon Adventures series. Now I'm not going to waste any time on those 3 villains. I mean, Awful Alvin can be like the creepiest one of the Cartoon Adventures series, but he's not really that scary. The Alchemist is, well, let's be real, he's a mama's boy, so nothing scary about him. And then Greta Von Gruesome, she's kind of like the dullest of the 3. So now we're left with the Fib from Outer Space, the Rumorweed, and the Bad Apple. Now I would say at this point in time that the Fib would come in third. Now, some of y'all might say, but Veronica, he's a space alien. I know. However, it's how he delivers himself as a space alien, which might affect his credibility of being scary. I mean, all he does in his movie is rampage over Bumbleberg, step on cars, destroy buildings, and he attempted to eat people. But that's still not enough to say that he's scary. And plus, he can be a little bit awkward sometimes. Like there's this one scene where he says a line, "I'll always be your little Fib," and he's saying this to Junior Asparagus. And it's like, how he says it, it's like, okay, what the heck is he doing? So it's safe to say that the Fib can be creepy, but not as scary. So let's move on. And then there were 2, our lawless ladies, the Rumorweed and the Bad Apple. Now I had a hard time choosing between the Rumorweed and the Bad Apple because they're both creepy and they show it really well. So when in doubt, listen to the voice acting. So here we have the Rumorweed. Whenever she reemerges from the darkness, in that sewer scene, it's like, wow, she looks really scary. However, just listen to her laugh. There's this scene where she's being diabolical, saying that nobody can stop her, and then she ends with an evil laugh. Now, for those of you who don't know how the Rumorweed laughs, here's what she sounds like. It's like she swallowed a cat or something, when she was speaking. I don't know. So that leaves us with the Bad Apple. I think she's the scariest one of them all because, well, let me explain. You got this really cool voice acting, and basically she's like the female equivalent to Tim Curry. I mean, her voice acting is really badass. And it really makes this uncanny because this is a kid's show, and then you hear this seductress attitude coming from this villain. And plus, she's supposed to resemble temptation. I mean, like, she's an apple. I mean, just refer to the Adam and Eve story and you'll totally get it. And on top of that, she's a spider. I mean, you don't see her spider legs like at the beginning, but then later on, as the movie progresses, she'll show you her spider legs. I mean, wow. And she'll spin webs, like trap people in her webs, and like destroy property and all that. And going back to the seductress part, I mean, that part can be a little uncomfortable for some kids. I mean, look at how close she was to Larryboy this one time. I mean, wow, it's kind of creepy. I mean, I couldn't believe I was watching that. This was supposed to be Veggietales? Now, I think that was one of the risks of that movie because, like, the villain can be, like, a little creepy every once in a while, and like what she represents. But for me, I think she's pretty badass. I mean, well, at least she doesn't suck like the other villains in the cartoon adventures, that's for sure. And she's way better than Motato. And generally speaking, she came from one of the best Larryboy videos, like, by far. So clearly we have a winner in who I think is the scariest villain in the Larryboy franchise, and that is the Bad Apple. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. This was a really fun video to make. I was actually planning this for quite some time now. And as for my Whatsoever Critic blog, I'm thinking of doing the reviews like on video, like instead of just like typing it on the website. Just go for it, Veronica! Anyways, thanks for watching, and I will be using the name Whatsoever Critic from now on. Well, as much as I can. So be sure to like, comment, and subscribe to this channel, and also be sure to follow my blog. And again, it's going to be like in the description below, or in this little ball right here. Yeah, right there. And on that note, this is Whatsoever Critic signing out.